The Turner family, of course, are tremendous philanthropists and, again, supporters of the art, and specifically the Nashville Symphony, and heavy financial contributors to our financial well-being. And so in honor of their mother, they named this hall after her. It's known as the Laura Turner Concert Hall. And her life, Laura Turner's life, is reflected on the bas-reliefs that you'll see throughout on the parapets. And the very bottom row, excuse me, these are piano keys, which reflects her love of music, and she was a piano player as well. And these are musical staffs. And here are tulips. You can see flowers because Laura Turner was an avid gardener. And here you'll see horseshoe, which reflect the Turner family. They love horses. They had horses all over the place. And the horseshoe also reflect the last gifts she gave her children were diamond-studded lapel pins of a horseshoe. And here you see a stylized flower. And see here, you'll see a stylized head of horses. And they really just symbolize not only her love of horses, but her favorite horse, whose name was Polo, I think. I'm sorry, somebody's chair. Look at wagon chair right here. Will roll forward, be taken down to the subterranean area and roll all the way back. And then the third section, the third chair wagon will roll all the way forward, and the process will continue, like I said, within half an hour or so, because all of it is motorized. This floor is then converted into a flat ballroom floor configuration.
Wow.
Yes, I like that configuration. And then with the flat floor configuration, ballroom dancing or any kind of dancing can take place. Like I said, wedding receptions are held here. Great big corporation parties are held here. But also during the pop series, the configuration will provide, what do they call it?
Cafe tables?
Yeah, the cafe tables will be set up to replicate, a club, nightclub type of mood. Mm-hmm. And you can bring your drinks and drink here. And if you're lucky enough to have box seats, you can order your drinks before, and they'll be housed in the anteroom, and you can go up there and bring your drinks in and drink while observing the play. Now, the performance platform, you'll notice it's not your traditional theater type of stage. Therefore, it's not a stage. And it's not a stage because it doesn't have curtains. And it doesn't have curtains because curtains sort of divide, separate you psychologically from what's taking place up there. Whereas, with just a platform, you and the orchestra are pretty much, in the same boat. They're in the same environment. And with the acoustical design of the building, it becomes such really an intimate, spiritually high type of event. A musical experience, I think. And as far as I'm concerned, there's no better orchestra currently playing in the U.S. than the Nashville Orchestra. Of course, I'm biased, but I'm truly, I use it. Of course, it helps, like I said, because of the acoustics in this place. The design that, the bas relief that tell the story of Laura Turner, the design of them and the material chosen to show the design. I don't know what they are, but they were chosen specifically because their very existence led to the acoustics, the best acoustics in the concert hall. So everything you see here was chosen specifically to accommodate the acoustics, the science of the acoustics, and the aesthetics of the acoustics. But most of all, the clarity of sound and the even distribution of sound. Even the chair, the heights of the chair and the materials which the chairs are covered in were picked specifically to accommodate the best clarity of sound. However, in keeping the Nashville Symphony alive back in the 80s when it almost went back. So in her honor, the platform is named after her. And the platform can accompany 115 musicians. And the choral seating is 132. That's, you know, the choral seatings under the organ. Those are where the chorus sang. I mean, all the enough seats. You know, people cancel at the last minute. You need, you know, take a chance, come dressed up for a concert, and for $15 an hour before, you know, before you start flying, the least expensive, I believe, is $35. The most expensive, I assume, are the box seats and everything. You know, there are windows up there, and that was an aesthetic decision made that pretty much precludes any other concert hall in the U.S. having. So it's the only concert hall like we have, what do you call it, not curtains, but drapes. That made it the best clarity of sound, resonance of sound, that kind of thing. So tonight is, you know, not, yeah, tonight is a performance tonight. Yeah, that'll be huge tonight. Tonight, the windows will be open because, you know, it's classical music. And let's see if I've covered everything. I think I've covered everything. If you follow me, we'll go off to Symphony Hall. She's from Atlanta. Behind you is a portrait of Kenneth the Schermerhorn, who I don't know if any of you have the privilege of seeing him conduct, but oh my God, he's an incredibly handsome man with, you know, just beautiful energy, and everybody loved it. The building. Well, you're up here. As long as you're here, take a closer gander at the Irish buds, which I had no idea were, in fact, Irish buds, and also an homage to Alan Valentine, who is the current CEO, or was, and still is, the current CEO of Nashville. The design is that when you come here to attend a concert during very much, you're normally wearing the granddaughter of Laura Dugas, the granddaughter of Laura Turner, whose name is Laura Turner Dugas as well. The beautiful antique circa 1860, I believe, are donations from Martha Ingram. They're hand painted. They're not Russians, but they're hand painted designs, each piece, and I believe it's called, and it's English. It's not Russian. It's English, and it's called the Amari pattern. Let's see, what else can I say about this room? I want you to notice the chandeliers because I just love the Susan Brady design of, you know, all these chandeliers that are housed throughout the concert hall. Susan Brady is a designer of the chandeliers. Susan Brady up in York. Susan Brady students.
You can still play. I can't hear you.
No, this is their home. That's why they built this temple.
Beautiful.
This temple is for them. Really, the experience of hearing the Nashville Symphony perform is really such a special treat for me, and I'm sure for everybody else. Again, because they're an extraordinary orchestra, but the acoustics of the hall just makes it so extraordinary, I think.
Well, you just think about this group right here, and you're not raising your voice, and everyone can hear you very
Oh
clearly.
yeah.
It's a light right next to them.
This is the Mike Herb Family Music Education Hall. I don't know if any of you know who Mike Herb is, but he has his own recording studio here in town.
By the roundabout, the Herb Studio.
Right. But he moved here from California and introduced what was non-existent at the time in Nashville, unbelievably, education in music business. And so, you know, through his philanthropy and his expertise, he financed for not Vanderbilt, what's the Belmont. The Belmont music department is pretty much Mike Gerb's doing. So so Mike Gerb is pretty much another salient contributor of you know, education and financial what have you to the well-being of the Nashville Symphony. And so this hall, of course, is named after him. It's you know, as it reads, it's an educational hall, but businesses meet here. You know, something is going on because they have the chairs set up. Again, you can rent this hall if you wanted to for your own private party. It's 3,000 square feet. And on the wall, you'll see, and it's fully equipped for audio and video, what have you, you know, for lectures. And it's one of the 4 major artworks that was commissioned by the Nashville Symphony it's a recording angel. It's a bronze, about 50 feet tall. She is standing on 3 but they're to represent 3 different kinds of records on baseball, the 33 to 78 and 44. You know, and it's also a tape of the word record. You know, when you go to heaven, somebody's going to remind you where it's going. Her recording is, in one hand is an old-fashioned quill pen, and on the other hand, she's holding a CD disc. You know, it's a sculpture with a sense of humor. And like I said, and her name is Audrey Flack. Audrey Flack. And Audrey Flack lives in New York. That's where that piece of artwork was done. And see, of course, and she faces, you know, she's paying homage as well to the Country Music Hall of Fame across the state.
You guys are good.
Airspace between this building and Council Hall. That's another way of separating sound from penetrating the lower turn at Council Hall. This building is separated by 2 inches of airspace so that it's the concert hall is embedded. The concert hall has its own dividing wall. You know, like if you the house, you have a wall, and it has its own set of walls. And this, you know, the outside portion of it, the east wing and the west wing, has its own set of walls. It's a first-rate operation. And then it looks like yes. And so here it is. This side, you know, remember on the other side we have the Bishop Cafe, the Capital. It's in the formal. For $38, you'll have the best meal of your life in this restaurant. I'm telling you, I'm from San Francisco, so I'm very picky about, you know, food. Having been used to great food pretty much all my life. But I can honestly say that this is, you know, one of the finest restaurants in town. Unfortunately, it has to be, you know, I don't know, because of the way the hall is set up, it's buffet style, but you get to peg out for the best gourmet meals, really. And whatever wine you have here, it's always the best wine available. It's just fantastic.
Can you call their normal reservation line?
You have to for this restaurant. You need reservations, so you know, call a day or 2 ahead, if not a week.
Are you providing samples today?
And if not, why?
So anyway, what I was telling you is that on this level, you know, in terms of where the water got in,
Sure.
It came within an inch of maybe this area.
Oh, wow.
Of the water. So the water stopped.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, that's how much water. I mean, and it's cavernous downstairs. I mean, it's really, really deep. You know, 2 levels
down there?
Huh?
Are we going down there?
No. But this is where the water came up to.
Wow.
You know, it just sort of stopped right here. That's what they said.
Wow.
And if you go down this area, the ladies' room, the restrooms are to your right. Some of you have used it, and to the left, that whole area is a coat check-in. My tour, your tour. It concludes it unless you have questions. No? Okay, where would you like to exit? Would you like, actually, you have to exit through here, so.
I used to work for and I would have to go and check out like before.
Is that free?
Yes, indeed.
I'm glad to see you're here because it's a big group.
For those who contributed $1 million or more at the initial campaign to get the hall started, they get to have their names outside of those boxes,
Right.
you know, for in perpetuity. So, you know, 300 years from now, if your relative happened to be, you know, somebody who's listed in $1 million, you know, it's up there 300 years from now.
Do they get the free box seats too?
The seats in this hall are wonderful.
How can we purchase the box seats? Is it coming here like you said 1 hour before, or can it be purchased online?
If you come here about an hour before, those are the worst tickets that I told you about. So as to not to discourage you from coming to experience the Nashville Symphony perform, but really that's sort of a hush-hush type thing. So go full spreading it.
It won't be in our write-up for this event.
But, you know, if there is a box seat available, you know, an hour before, and, you know, just say, would you by any chance have a box seat available? Yeah, you can get it for $15.